I just survived a place where the air itself feels like a physical assault. A place where temperatures climb to an almost unbelievable 130 degrees Fahrenheit or 54 degrees Celsius. It's a land of extremes, a furnace sculpted from rock, sand. I went to the hottest place on Earth, Death Valley, to see if I could endure it. The sun here doesn't just warm you, it feels like it's trying to cook you from the inside out. My skin prickled, my head pounded. Every breath was a gulp of superheated air. I'm here to tell you what it was like to stand on the edge of what feels survivable, and what I learned from staring into the sun's fiery heart. My name is Sarah, and I'm an adventurer drawn to the planet's harshest environments. I seek out these places not just for the thrill, to understand the limits of human endurance and the raw power of nature. For this journey, the challenge was simple but profound. Could I actually survive in a place that holds the record for the highest air temperature ever reliably recorded on Earth? I wanted to feel that heat, to experience the desolation, to share the story of what it takes to walk through one of the most inhospitable landscapes imaginable. This is my account of that journey into the inferno. The plan was to document everything. I wanted to show you the reality of this brutal beauty, far from the safety of an air-conditioned car. What does it feel like when the ground is hot enough to cause burns? How does your body react when your sweat evaporates the instant it forms? I'll take you through my preparations, the gear that kept me alive, the constant battle against dehydration and heat stroke. We will explore the science behind this extreme climate, and the specific dangers that lurk behind every shimmering vista. This isn't just a travel story, it's a survival guide forged in the crucible of Death Valley. Before we step into the blistering heat, I want to be clear about the risks. This journey was meticulously planned and undertaken with extreme caution. Death Valley is not a theme park. Its name is a warning. People have died here from underestimating the heat. My goal is to share not only the awe-inspiring moments, but also the critical safety measures that made this trip possible. I'll show you what happened, what I learned about myself and the environment, and how you can stay safe if you ever dare to face such extreme conditions. Let's begin. Part 2. The challenge, the science of a furnace, your body under siege, the 3 stages of danger, a landscape built to bake. Why is Death Valley so relentlessly hot? It's not just a matter of being a desert. It's a perfect storm of geography and physics, a natural oven designed for maximum heat. The valley is long, narrow, and deep. Badwater Basin, 282 feet below sea level. High, steep mountain ranges line the valley on all sides. This unique topography traps air. The sun beats down, heating the desert floor, and that heat radiates upwards. The surrounding mountains act like walls, preventing the superheated air from escaping. It has nowhere to go but back down, getting compressed and even hotter as it descends. This process creates a cycle of extreme heating. Sunlight, with very little cloud cover to block it, bombards the sparse, rocky ground. The dark surfaces of the rocks and soil absorb an immense amount of this solar radiation. The air near the ground becomes superheated. As this hot air rises, it's blocked by the high valley walls. It cools slightly as it gains altitude, but then it sinks back toward the valley floor. As it sinks, the air is compressed by the higher atmospheric pressure at these low elevations, which heats it up all over again. This phenomenon, a type of adiabatic heating, essentially turns the entire valley into a massive convection oven. The lack of moisture is another critical factor. Death Valley is one of the driest places in North America. The high mountain ranges, including the Sierra Nevada to the west, create a powerful rain shadow effect. They block moisture-laden clouds from the Pacific Ocean from ever reaching the valley. With very little water on the ground and extremely low humidity in the air, there's nothing to absorb the sun's energy through evaporation. All that solar power goes directly into heating the rock and the air. This arid environment means there are no cooling afternoon thunderstorms, just day after day of relentless, desiccating sun. So when you stand on the floor of Death Valley, you're standing in a basin that has been engineered by nature to trap and intensify heat. The air isn't just hot, it's dense and heavy. The low elevation, the surrounding mountains, the dry air, and the dark heat-absorbing surfaces all work together. They create a furnace where record-breaking temperatures are not just possible, but expected during the summer months. Understanding this science doesn't make the heat any less brutal, but it explains the sheer, overwhelming power of the environment you are stepping into. It's a place built to bake. In this kind of extreme heat, your body is thrown into a desperate battle for survival. Its primary goal is to maintain a stable internal temperature, around 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, or 37 degrees Celsius. Your main weapon in this fight is sweat. As sweat evaporates from your skin, it carries heat away, cooling you down. But in Death Valley, this system is pushed to its absolute limit. When the air temperature soars past 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and the humidity is almost zero, your sweat evaporates the instant it appears. You might not even feel wet, but you are losing massive amounts of water and vital salts, or electrolytes. This rapid fluid loss is the first and most immediate danger. It's called dehydration. Think of your body as a finely tuned engine that runs on water. Water is essential for every single function: circulating blood, thinking clearly. When you start to run low, the engine sputters, your blood thickens, forcing your heart to work much harder to pump it through your veins. Your kidneys struggle to filter waste. Your brain, deprived of optimal blood flow, starts to function poorly. You might feel dizzy, get a headache, or become irritable and confused. These aren't just minor discomforts. They are warning signs that your body's core systems are under severe stress. The heat itself is also a direct physical assault. When the air temperature is significantly higher than your body temperature, you can't cool down by radiating heat into the environment. In fact, the opposite happens. Your body starts absorbing heat from the scorching air around you, from the ground you walk on, and from the relentless infrared radiation of the sun. It's like being slowly cooked from the outside in. Your skin feels flushed and hot to the touch, not just because you're sweating, but because your blood vessels have widened in a desperate attempt to release heat at the surface. This constant, losing battle puts an incredible strain on your cardiovascular system. Your heart rate skyrockets as it tries to pump more blood to your skin to cool off, while also trying to supply enough blood to your muscles and organs. This is why even simple activities, like a slow walk, can feel as strenuous as a full sprint. You become exhausted quickly. Every movement requires more effort. Your body is working overtime on every front, simply trying to keep you from overheating. It's a state of siege, and without careful management, your defenses will eventually crumble. When your body starts to lose the battle against the heat, it sends out a series of increasingly urgent alarms. These can be broken down into three main stages: heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Understanding these stages is not just academic. It's the key to recognizing trouble before it becomes a life-threatening emergency. The first stage is often subtle, beginning with heat cramps and initial signs of heat exhaustion. You might feel unusually tired, weak, or nauseous. Your skin could be cool and clammy, even in the blistering heat as your body pours out sweat. This is the point of heat exhaustion. It's a clear signal that your body is severely depleted of water and salt. You'll likely have a throbbing headache and feel dizzy or lightheaded. Your pulse will be fast but weak. This is your body's yellow alert. It's telling you in no uncertain terms that you need to stop what you are doing immediately. You must get out of the sun, rest, and most importantly, rehydrate. Drinking water is crucial, but you also need to replace the electrolytes you've lost. A sports drink, a salty snack. Ignoring these signs is a grave mistake. If you fail to act, your body progresses to the final, most dangerous stage: heat stroke. This is a medical emergency. The key difference is that your body's cooling system completely fails. The most telling sign: you stop sweating. Your skin will become hot, red, and dry. Your internal temperature regulation has broken down, and your core body temperature can soar to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius, or higher in a matter of minutes. At this temperature, your cells, especially in your brain, begin to cook and die. Your pulse will be rapid and strong, and you may feel confused, disoriented, or even lose consciousness. Heat stroke can cause permanent brain damage or death if not treated immediately. The person is no longer able to help themselves. They need aggressive cooling right away. This means dousing them with any water available, fanning them, and getting them to emergency medical help as fast as possible. This is the ultimate danger in Death Valley. It's not a slow, gentle fading away. It's a rapid, catastrophic system failure. The line between heat exhaustion and heat stroke is thin, and in this environment, you can cross it terrifyingly fast. This is why preparation isn't just a good idea. It's the only thing that stands between you and disaster. As the spectacular sunset painted the sky, a feeling of overconfidence began to creep in. I had survived the worst of the day. I had followed my rules. I had managed my water. I had respected the heat. With the sun gone, the temperature was slowly dropping, though it still hovered around a scorching 108 degrees Fahrenheit, 42 degrees Celsius. I decided to undertake one last short excursion. I wanted to capture the last of the ambient twilight glow on its rock walls. It felt like a simple task, a final victory lap to cap off an intensely challenging day. This, I would soon learn, was a dangerous mindset. My plan was to walk just a quarter of a mile up the canyon's gravelly wash, take a few photos, and return. It was a distance I had covered easily in the morning. However, I failed to fully account for the cumulative toll the day had taken on my body. I was more fatigued than I realized, my energy reserves depleted by the hours of constant thermal stress. The heat of the day lingers in the rock and sand long after the sun has set. I was stepping back into the oven, assuming that because the primary heat source was gone, the danger had passed. I grabbed a single small bottle of water from the car, leaving my larger supply behind. I left my heavy pack behind. This was my second, more critical error. I figured a short walk wouldn't require the full gear I had been carrying all day. It was a conscious choice. I was breaking one of my own fundamental rules: never stray from your main supplies. The decision felt minor at the time, almost trivial. After a day of rigid discipline, I allowed myself a moment of laxity, not understanding that in this environment, there are no small mistakes. The final and most dangerous test was just beginning. The walk up the canyon wash was more difficult than I anticipated. The ground was made of loose gravel. With each step, my feet slid backwards slightly. I paused, leaning against a rock wall still warm to the touch. The silence was absolute. It felt less like peace, and more like an unnerving void. I quickly finished the small bottle of water I had brought. The lukewarm liquid did little to quench the thirst. Standing alone in the silent, dark canyon, the first undeniable red flag appeared. A dull, throbbing headache began to pulse at my temples. I knew I had to stop and turn back immediately. As I turned around, a wave of dizziness washed over me. My mind began to play tricks on me. I heard sounds, a faint whisper, a rustle. I was losing my grip on reality. I started to stumble. I fell to one knee. At my lowest point, I considered just sitting down. The desire to stop, to rest, to simply give in was immense, but a deeper, more resilient part of me knew that if I sat down, I might not get back up. I had to consciously fight the impulse to surrender. Finally, through a gap in the canyon walls, I saw it, the faint metallic glint of my car under the starlight. Seeing it was like a jolt of electricity. It gave me the strength to quicken my pace. I burst out of the canyon mouth. The click of the door unlocking was the most beautiful sound I had ever heard. I wrenched the door open and collapsed into the driver's seat. My first coherent thought was, water. That first gulp of water was the most profound physical sensation of my life. It was more than just quenching a thirst. It felt like I was pouring life itself back into my body. I also grabbed a packet of electrolyte powder. As I drank the salty, life-sustaining mixture, I could feel the fog in my brain begin to recede. I had made it. I had walked to the very edge of collapse, and I had managed to pull myself back. Sitting in the driver's seat of my car, with the engine off and the windows down, I let the silence of the desert night wash over me. The immense power of the environment I had challenged felt more real and terrifying than at the peak of the midday heat. Careful preparation, meticulous planning, and layers of gear had been temporarily undone by a simple lapse in judgment. It was a humbling lesson in the unforgiving nature of extreme environments. There is no room for error, no allowance for fatigue-induced complacency. The thing that nearly defeated me was not the sun's direct assault, but my own human fallibility, pride, and moments of overconfidence. As my heart rate finally returned to something resembling normal, a deep sense of gratitude settled over me. And strangely, I was grateful for the terrifying experience itself. It had stripped away the academic understanding of the dangers and replaced it with a visceral, unforgettable truth. I had not just learned about heat exhaustion. I had felt its tendrils curling around my brain, and I had fought my way free. The echo of that silent, dark canyon and the desperate race back to safety will remain with me as the most potent souvenir from the hottest place on Earth, a constant reminder of my own fragility. The first and most important is the water rule. Carry more than you think you will ever need, and then carry some more. The second is the sun rule. The sun is your primary adversary. Do not expose your skin to it. The third rule is the body rule. Know the warning signs of heat exhaustion and heat stroke as if your life depends on it, because it does. Finally, there is the isolation rule, Assume you are completely on your own. My journey to the hottest place on Earth was a profound and transformative ordeal. It was brutal, beautiful, and deeply humbling. The world's extreme places hold a unique beauty and offer lessons you can't learn in comfort. They challenge us, strip us to our essential selves, and show us what we're truly made of. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been in extreme heat or extreme cold? Share your extreme travel stories in the comments below. If this journey into the inferno compelled you, and you want more adventures to the planet's most extreme corners, please consider subscribing. Thank you for walking with me through the fire of Death Valley. Stay curious, stay prepared, and always, always respect the power of the world around you. Your next adventure is waiting. Be ready.